同學，今次我們將會學習 Group Discussion Skills 25 Concept. Group Discussion Skills 25. According to the HKEAA annual reports and recommendations, candidates should read the materials, listen to the questions given by the examiners carefully. They should be courteous to other candidates in the group interaction. As the theme unit discussion topics are mostly about students' personal experience, for example, food photos, education systems, students can draw examples from their school or home life. You also need to know the marking criteria of the examiner in Part A and the adjustment in Part B. For each candidate, fill in the Part A marks 0 to 7 for each domain in the spaces provided, using the assessment guidelines to help you. These are the domains to be assessed: pronunciation and delivery, communication strategies, vocabulary language patterns, ideas and organization. Up to 7 marks can be assessed for each domain. Up to 28 marks can be assessed for Part A total. For Part B, determine the adjustment mark using the guidelines on the upper worksheet page, and then add that to the Part A total to calculate the overall mark. Then refer to the cut scores table on the opposite page to determine the level of performance, U to 5, attained by each candidate. That is to say, Part B adjustment mark is added to Part A total, and come up with overall mark, and then calculate the overall percentage, and then come up with the level of performance attained by each candidate, U to 5. Let's see how to come up with the Part B adjustment mark. The adjustment mark is dependent on each candidate's level of performance in Part B relative to that attained in Part A. For example, if the candidate performs as well in Part B as Part A, low marks should be awarded. If the candidate performs worse in Part B than Part A, marks should be deducted. If the candidate performs better in Part B than Part A, marks should be added. The range of marks that can be awarded Part B is as follows: Part B performance compared with Part A, much better. Part B adjustment mark, 2 marks added. Part B performance compared with Part A, better. Part B adjustment mark, 1 mark added. Part B performance compared with Part A, similar. Part B adjustment mark, low marks awarded. Part B performance compared with Part A, poorer. Part B adjustment mark, 1 mark deducted. Part B performance compared with Part A, much poorer. Part B adjustment mark, 2 marks deducted. Let's see the cut scores table for determining the level of performance attained by each candidate. Level, overall mark, overall percentage. Level 5, overall mark 20 or more, overall percentage 71 or more. Level 4, overall mark 16 to 19, overall percentage 57 to 70. Level 3, overall mark 12 to 15, overall percentage 42 to 56. Level 2, overall mark 8 to 11, overall percentage 28 to 41. Level 1, overall mark 4 to 7, overall percentage 14 to 27. Level U, overall mark 3 or less, overall percentage 13 or less. Note, this table shows a suggested distribution of marks. In the exam, Level 5 candidate with the best performance will be awarded Level 5 star, and the next top group Level 5 star. Let's see an example on how to determine the level of performance attained by each candidate. Part A mark, domain, pronunciation and delivery, 5 marks. Communication strategies, 4 marks. Vocabulary and language patterns, 4 marks. Ideas and organization, 4 marks. Total Part A marks, 17. Part B adjustment mark. Better performance compared with Part A, according to adjustment mark table, plus 1 marks. Overall marks, 18 marks. 17 plus 1 equals 18 marks. Overall percentage, 64%. 18 over 28 times 100% equals 64%. Level of performance, 4, according to cut scores table. Advice on ideas and organization. Stronger candidates can integrate the information from the test into the discussion. Weaker candidates should not prepare copious notes on their notecards, or even the whole speech that they read out without showing eye contact to the other members. They should also try to listen to others' contribution actively and modify or adapt what they have planned to say in order to sound more coherent in a discussion. Practice. You may form a group with other Form 6 students to do the following question. Record the discussion, ask your tutor to give you comments. Source: HKDSE 2015 English Paper 4 Speaking, HKEAA, Part A Group Interaction. Below is a newspaper article about schooling. Children should start school at 6. Pupils should not receive full classroom tuition until the age of 6, according to a leading academic. Dr. Richard House, senior lecturer at Roehampton University, said pupils, especially those from relatively well-off backgrounds, suffered the most from being pushed too far too fast. He said that students can benefit from being slowed down in the early years, allowing them to develop naturally. He warned that if kids are pushed into formal schooling from a very young age, there is a higher chance for them to suffer lifelong negative effects and even premature death. He added, most children under the age of 6 need lots of time to play and to develop social skills and to learn to control their impulses. An overemphasis on formal classroom instruction, staying instead of playing outside, can have serious effects that may not surface until years later. The conclusion followed a research study that found that starting late appears to have no adverse effect on children's progress. Dr. House, however, admitted that early schooling may be beneficial to children with poor family backgrounds. There are, of course, some children from very deprived backgrounds who in general would, and certainly do, gain a net benefit from starting school early, he said. But the evidence is now quite overwhelming that such an early introduction to formal schooling is quite unnecessary for the majority of children, and even worse, they can cause major developmental harm and the worst, a shortened lifespan. You are preparing for a debate with the motion. Starting formal schooling before the age of 6 does more harm than good to children. Discuss with your group what to include in this debate. You may want to talk about arguments for the motion, arguments against the motion, which side you would prefer to take, anything else you think important. Part B. Practice this question and record your answer. Do you make any mistakes? Do you like being a student at primary school? Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise. Practice discussing the topic again after watching the video. You may borrow the idea if you want. Source: HKDSE 2015 English Paper 4 Speaking, HKEAA, Part A Group Interaction. Below is a newspaper article about schooling. Children should start school at 6. Record the discussion, ask a tutor to give you advice. Assessment guidelines for Part A Group Interaction. Marks: pronunciation and delivery, communication strategies, vocabulary and language pattern, ideas and organization. 7 marks. 6 marks. 5 marks. 4 marks. Assessment guidelines for Part A Group Interaction. Marks: pronunciation and delivery, communication strategies, vocabulary and language pattern, ideas and organization. 3 marks. 2 marks. 1 mark. 0 mark.